One of the very best quarterbacks, heck, one of the very best players in the 2023 class, Dante Moore, has flipped his commitment from the Oregon Ducks to the UCLA Bruins. This is huge for the Bruins program as they approach the Big Ten in 2024, and I think this has a little bit of a bigger impact than people realize on our beloved Big Ten Conference. It's a great time to subscribe to the channel. Big Ten content every single day. Always mash that like button to spread the word of Big Ten TED to the masses. If you look at this from a simplistic point of view, you look at it and you say, well, Dante Moore is the highest rated recruit that UCLA has ever had. It's one guy. Just how much of an impact can one guy make flipping his commitment? Well, to that I say a large amount of an impact, a big impact, especially when you have a 5-star asteroid making impact. And that's exactly what Dante Moore is. This is a class with some pretty good quarterbacks. Of course, you got Arch Manning at the top. You look at Malachi Nelson, who's at USC, and now you look at Dante Moore, who's headed to the UCLA Bruins. Now, when I look at this move, and why it's going to leave a bigger impact than people realize, I think the first thing you got to take a look at is why. Why did this move happen? I think the first thing you maybe look at is Oregon offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham leaving Oregon to take the head coaching job at Arizona State. I'm sure that had some sort of impact on Dante Moore's decision making. But if you've kind of heard him and you've deciphered his words, it's all about the exposure that UCLA is set to bring. It's the Big Ten factor. And that's why I think this is such a big deal. You have a guy of Dante Moore's talent level. You have a guy of his stature flipping a commitment from a Pac-12 school to a Big Ten school, with one of the main reasons being that to get more exposure and to capitalize and take advantage of what the Big Ten is doing on the television side. I think that speaks volumes of where the Big Ten is going, and I think that speaks volumes of what kids and how they view certain decision-making processes as we kind of go along. Now, that's the first thing. When you have a guy like Dante Moore go to a school like UCLA that maybe hasn't had the best history in terms of recruiting in the past, you got to think other players at the very least are going to say, maybe it's time for me to consider UCLA. I'm not saying everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon and follow Dante Moore to Westwood. Far from the fact. It's going to take some sustained success for more players in droves to come to play their home games in the Rose Bowl. But this is something that will turn the heads of a lot of people. This is something that is going to make an impact. There are going to be players, whether they're transfers, whether they're recruits. When you see Dante Moore, especially maybe when he starts hitting the field, maybe in 2024 and beyond, maybe even sooner, kids are going to want to play with a guy like Dante Moore, a guy of his skill level. What this move also tells me is that UCLA is preparing for life in the Big Ten. They know that they have to recruit on that high of a level. They need to go after that kind of player. Otherwise, they're going to be left in the dust with 5-7 and 6-6 seasons, and Chip Kelly is going to be looking for a job in the Mountain West Conference. Like, they know what it takes. They know what it's going to take to recruit and be successful in the Big Ten Conference, and they are preparing for that. Both USC and UCLA are doing a fantastic job of elevating their program and elevating their talent level as they approach 2024. Now, of course, both teams have their issues. Did you see USC's defense in the Pac-12 championship game? But when we look at the skill positions, when we look at the positions that can win championships, you look at the quarterback position, maybe nobody's doing it better right now than the city of Los Angeles. Malachi Nelson, some say 1A, 1B with Arch Manning at the top of this class to Texas, is a commit to USC. And then you look at Dante Moore at UCLA. The Trojans and the Bruins are coming into the Big Ten with authority. They are not messing around because, like I said, they know this is it's going to be tough to go up with the Ohio States, to go up with the Michigans, to go up with the Penn State. You're going to need to take your recruiting. You're going to need to take your talent level to the next level. Now, I think we all knew USC was going to get there. You combine USC with Lincoln Riley and Los Angeles. You knew that team was probably going to be eventually in the upper echelon of the Big Ten. Like that, I think, is something that a lot of people expected. But now if UCLA is able to take this commitment from Dante Moore and really build off of this and really build the recruiting prowess, build their transfer prowess, and attract more talent to play in Westwood and to play in the Rose Bowl, this is going to make the Big Ten the best conference in all of college football. Like, if you hold on to that LA recruiting market and you have these two LA schools consistently having good teams, and then, of course, you got your Ohio States, your Michigans, your Penn State. What if Wisconsin and Nebraska, with their two head coaches, to get better? You look at Illinois, you look at Iowa, you look at Minnesota. All of a sudden, this is the deepest conference in college football. All of a sudden, this is the very best conference in college football. These additions of the Trojans and the Bruins, I think last summer, when these moves made, I think a lot of people thought, yeah, USC is going to be good. UCLA is coming along for the ride. I think what UCLA is proving with this move, with Dante Moore, they are proving that we're just not a supporting cast to USC. We are going to compete with USC. We want to compete. We want to bring in the big boys that it's going to take to try to win a Big Ten championship. I want to hear what you guys think of this move. First of all, the commitment flip in general. You think Dante Moore is going to be a good player in the Big Ten Conference? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure there's a lot on this topic. You think that this is a big move for the Big Ten? Are we going to see more flips like this for kids wanting to get exposure with this new TV deal that is set to kick in? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Big Ten Ted, and we will see you in the next one.